Hi everyone, my name is Karen, this is my channel Rather Be Reading, and today I'm bringing to you a recent reads video. It has once again been a week since I last checked in for a recent reads video. If you have been watching my recent reads videos that I've posted basically throughout the whole month of February, you will know that February has been a pretty dismal reading month for me so far, and I am disappointed to report that that continued over this past week. I once again completed one book this past week. One. So that's 2 weeks in a row, which is just crazy for me. Absolutely crazy. So let's jump in and talk about the one book that I finished, and then we'll get into my currently reading. So the one book that I completed was Silent Child by Sarah A. Denzil. This I read on ebook. It is a thriller novel about a woman who had a young son who was 6 years old, who wandered away during a torrential downpour, and where they live in a small town where there's like a river or whatever it is, and it burst its banks, and he wandered away, and they believe that he was swept away and drowned in this flood. It is now 10 years later, and he is found. He did not drown, and it's all the story of where has he been for the past 10 years. He is mute when he returns. He's now 16 years old, and where has he been this whole time? I quite enjoyed this. I really enjoyed Sarah A. Denzil's writing. I thought this raised some really interesting questions and like moral kind of dilemmas. At the time when her son is rediscovered, the main character has recently tried to move on with her life. She's married to a new man, and is actually currently like 8 months pregnant with a new baby. And then when her son is like found again, which she's obviously incredibly happy about, but obviously her son, they don't know what's happened, but he's clearly been through some kind of trauma, and they're not sure what his mental state is. Is he dangerous? They don't know what he has been kind of raised to be like, because he's been gone for 10 years, and she wants to support him in whatever ways that she can, but obviously that raises some questions, because is he dangerous? She's got a new baby that she's about to be bringing home. Is it irresponsible for her to keep him in the home, knowing that she's going to be bringing a new baby home? Is it selfish of her to want him to be with her when maybe living with her is not the best thing for him now that he's back? But obviously as a mother, that's what she wants for her child. All of those type of issues that I thought were just really, really well done. There was nothing overly shocking to me in the plot. I pretty much picked up on all of the like main things that kind of got revealed. But yeah, there was a lot of complicated relationships, a lot of, like I said, just really interesting questions raised, and I really quite enjoyed it. And I gave it 3.75 stars. And that's it. That's what I read this week. To move on to my currently reading, I'm once again reading 3 books, and I will touch on the 2 books that I have been, like that I was already currently reading, like prior to this week, that you saw last week. The first of those is, of course, Middlemarch by George Eliot. So I'm behind in this, well, kind of behind. I guess technically we're supposed to finish it in February, and today is the final day of February. I did read part 7, but I haven't read part 8. And the finale, which is the final part. So I'm on page 629. So I basically have 90 pages left of this. But I finished Silent Child. I then read part 7. I then moved on to my next read and was going to read that and then come back to this and finish this. And I just never got through my next read. So I am still reading this. Would love to finish my other current read and then finish this like today, to get these done for February, but because today is the 29th of February, sleep day and final day of the month, but I just really don't know whether that's realistic, to be perfectly honest. So I've got that. The other book that I was currently reading last weekend that I'm still currently reading is The Mad Ship by Robin Hobb, the second book in the Live Ship Traders trilogy. I was like 42% of the way through this last week, and I'm only like 57% of the way through now. Once again, construction was still ongoing at my work this week, so I got through very little, and then like at the beginning half of the week, and then one of the reasons why I didn't get as much read this week is that I have just had an absolutely terrible, terrible headache for like the whole end half of the week. And so even like with my physical reading and all of that, I got through very little, and I basically didn't listen to any of the audiobook in the second half of the week. So I'm still only 57% of the way through that. Really hoping to get that done like in the early couple of days of this week, because I think construction's supposed to be done now, but we'll see. And then the physical book that I'm currently reading is The Cities of Dead by Elise Arden. This is the third book in the Casket Girls trilogy. I would like to say that this is the final book. And you may have, if you've been watching my videos, know that I've been saying that this is the final book. It's not. I was flipping through the back of this just to figure out exactly how many pages this book had. I like to do that every time I add a book to Goodreads. I like to check how many pages my edition is and try to find the closest edition. And I got to the back and there's a page. When I got to the last page and flipped to see whether a new chapter started or if there was an epilogue or something, there's a page that's titled The Epic Conclusion, Book 4, with the title of Book 4. And I was like, oh, there's a fourth book. Goodreads does not have the fourth book listed, so that's why I thought that this was the third book, was the final book. These are self-published. There's quite a gap in between publishing them. Obviously, they're very big, and obviously it takes a lot of work to get a self-published book out, but it turns out this is not the final book, and there is one more to go. So I'm only I'm maybe 2/3 of the way through this. I'm on page 359, but this is a over 600 page book. Each book's gotten slowly longer. They've all been over 500, so I'm interested to see how long book 4 ends up being. This, of course, is a YA paranormal set in New Orleans, witches, voodoo, vampires, etc. I've mentioned it so many times. That's the very brief synopsis that I'm going to give in this video. But I'm really enjoying it. This one so far has definitely been slow, and I've kind of mentioned that there's parts of the first two that have been slow. This one is kind of slow, but to me, it's okay. There are some things going on, but it's definitely kind of a slow burner of a story. But I really, really enjoy the characters and all the character interactions and relationships, so it doesn't really bother me that much. Like I said, I've just not been getting through much reading this past week. Like I said, I read the end half or whatever it was, the last 3/4 of The Silent Child, and then I read 360 pages of this, and that's all the physical, and a book of this. So I did read 90 pages of this as well. So I guess I still got, when you add up all the pages, I did still read probably 800 pages or something, which is not terrible at all. It's just, for me, very, very low. So that's it. I think this is the quickest recent reads video that I've ever filmed. I would love to chat with you guys in the comments. If you've read The Silent Child, let me know your thoughts. I'd love to discuss it, or let me know how your reading week has been going, or your reading month. Like I said, I would really love today to get this finished and then read the last part of this, but that would mean reading another 500 pages today. At the time I'm filming this, it's almost already 3 o'clock in the afternoon. I just don't know that that's going to happen. So yeah, I would love to, but we'll see. So yeah, I would love to chat in the comments down below. Please like this video if you liked it. Please subscribe if you want to see more from my channel. That is all I have for this video today. Bye guys.